Welcome to the Trader's Journey podcast, the podcast that will take us on a journey to grow from a struggling trader to an independent and profitable one. I'm your host, Amber.
And I'm Peter.
We are individual traders trying to make it in the markets and want to share our experience and the lessons learned along the way. Our goal is for you to learn from our mistakes and profit along the way.
Grab your notebooks and sharpen your pencils because we are going on a journey. Welcome back to episode 3 of the Trader's Journey podcast. In this episode, we talk about what it means to take small size and how it can help you turn into a profitable trader. We have both made the same mistake by taking very large position sizes in the beginning, and we don't want you to make the same mistake. Feel free to leave a comment and tell us if you have ever gone in with too much size and if you were able to overcome it. Thank you for listening and enjoy the episode. Hey, what's going on, Amber? How's your week been?
I had a really bad week. I fell into some old trading habits because I let my bias control my trading, and I ended up losing a lot more than I planned on. What about yourself?
Fortunately, I did have a very good week. This is my second green week in a row, and my total account is up 60% this week, so I'm very happy with my trading.
I'm glad one of us is up.
So this week's topic is all about small size. In the beginning, what were your viewpoints on small size, and what did you think about it?
I didn't think about it much when I first started trading. You know, when I started trading, I wanted to make the big wins. I would take 100 shares, 200, sometimes 500, and sometimes I even caught myself taking 2,000 shares trying to get the big win. But those big wins came with big losses. They had a big emotional impact on me, where, if I took a big loss, I would literally be depressed for a couple days because I couldn't believe that I let that happen. So when I first started using small share size was when I blew up my first accounts, and I had to come back and regroup and try to come up with a better way to trade and to stay in the game longer. What about yourself?
A very, very similar experience to you. In the beginning, I traded with very large size, and I saw huge swings in my P&L, and emotionally that's not good. And once I blew up my first account, I started trading with much smaller size, and I started seeing much better results, which leads me into my next point of when you take small size, you're able to hold positions longer, you're able to let the trade work out because you can set further stops and you can set further price targets. And as a new trader, I think that's the best thing that you can do, is because you're much calmer when you're in with small size, and you can gauge your trade logically instead of emotionally.
Oh, absolutely. And just to your first point, you're able to take smaller risk or let time work for you, because we all know, and it's a hard lesson, that you cannot time the market. If anyone tells you that they're able to time the market, they are absolutely wrong. And we've all taken the big losses because we got into a trade too early and we got stopped out only for it to run in our direction. Taking a small position size allows time to work for you, because if you do end up having to take a loss, your loss isn't going to be as big as if it would be if you had a larger position size. And if the trade does end up going eventually into your direction, you can add into the trade and get it back up to your normal position size, and then you could take that for the big win. I wouldn't say big win, but for a winner. There's no such thing as big wins, and there shouldn't be. We should be focusing on consistency and consistent wins versus getting big wins all the time. And when you have that small position size and the trade is working against you, at least for me personally, I'm a lot more calm mentally. I can sit through the smaller swings in my P&L, and if I do have to take a loss, it's going to be a small loss, which in turn, if you're able to take consistent small losses versus big losses, you're going to be in this game a lot longer, which in turn is going to get you more experience and hopefully give you confidence in determining the type of trader you are, and in confidence in the strategies that you're trying to use. And ultimately, again, the goal is consistency. I would much rather be a consistently profitable trader than having, big wins and, posting them on Twitter and things like that for the world to see, nobody's ever going to know about my big losses because those are the things I'm going to hide. But if I'm consistently making small winners, I'm better than many other traders out there because I'm able to be consistent.
Yeah, you got to love those big Twitter wins that you see all the time. And when you see that, you just got to know that that's not realistic. I mean, how many posts do you see that are red trades? I mean, you never see it. Anyway, back to the topic. If you do have a big account and you can afford to take bigger risk, then you can always add to a winning position. I mean, it's not a bad idea to add when the trade is working in your favor, but taking that initial starting size, that's got to be small. I mean, what if the trade instantly goes against you? Then you're going to stop out for a small loss. But if you go in big right away and that trade instantly goes against you, you're going to be down big. But if the trade starts working in your favor, you can start adding some size, and then also taking profits along the way, which refers back to last week's episode, is taking profit along the way and letting winners ride.
So one of the questions I think our viewers are going to have is, what exactly is a small position size? Because that's all going to be relative to the size of the account that you have. So that's something that is going to be different for everybody. But for me personally, my small size is half my normal size. So for example, if I have a $1,000 account and I'm only going to risk, let's say, $20, and that's risking $20 with full size. So small size would be half my normal position. At least that's what I've determined that's going to work best for me and that has been working better for me. So it's all going to be individual, but try to at least reduce your size by 50% for starters. Maybe more if you still are not comfortable with the losses that you're having.
For me, since I trade options primarily, I always trade just one contract. Depending on the cost of the position of how much risk I have. So say the contract is 50 cents, I can be in that position for a longer period of time because $50 is the maximum that I can lose, and that's not that much. But say I'm in a $150 contract, I'm only going to risk a portion of that. I'm not going to let that thing go all the way down to zero and expire worthless.
Oh, absolutely. And I assume that even in your smaller position size of $50, you're not going to let that go down to zero either. You're probably going to get out well before it gets to zero. So your risk is a lot smaller than you initially thought.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for listening to episode 3 of the Trader's Journey podcast. Please leave a comment and let us know what you thought about the episode. If you're watching this podcast on YouTube, please leave a like and hit the subscribe button. If you're listening to this on a podcast platform, make sure to leave a rating. We'll catch you on the next episode of the Trader's Journey podcast.